Hello, I'm Emma.
And I'm Gabby, and this is
The mum I met on mat leave. It's been a while, Gab.
I feel like we've never spoken to each other more than we do now.
No.
And if, like, I don't hear from you, I'm like, oh my god,
Yeah,
what's going on?
What's happened?
Yeah, she's been in that accident. She didn't call me.
God. What, the way your brain works is actually a bit scary sometimes.
It's the intrusive thoughts.
Yeah. Did you have them before you had a kid or not?
Yeah, I've always been a nurse. I got reminded of one this week because when I used to travel for work.
I don't know if you know, but Gabby used to travel around the world for work.
Oh, it really isn't that glamorous, anyway. One time it was glamorous because I upgraded myself to business class. I paid for it, FYI. But as we were taking off, I said to myself, well, I might drown in the Atlantic in 10 minutes, or however long it takes to get to the Atlantic. So I'm just going to enjoy the free champagne and stuff that you get.
Oh my gosh.
And that was legit my thought as I took off.
Oh my, that must be quite stressful though to live with that.
Yeah, you just kind of get used to it because...
Yeah. I suppose you must just brush it off, like, oh yeah, you know.
Well, yeah, because I'm like, what am I going to do if I die? And I'm not going to know.
Yeah, that's true.
But thankfully I didn't.
Thank God you didn't, because
we're over.
I'd never be here.
Right.
What a way to start
What a way to start the episode. Yeah. We are, I am nuts.
I mean, I think everyone's a bit nuts, though, aren't they, in their own way?
Yeah, well, I feel like I've got better, actually, since I've had to, other than, when we walk down the canal, and I think that the babies are going to go in the canal.
Oh my God, yeah. So there I am, pushing our babies in my massive double pram. Just, minding my own business, going for a walk. And this nut job was, walking around me. I was like, what are you doing? No, it's best I walk close to the canal, just in case I, push them off into the water.
Yeah, because also, can we just tell them what you said about the strap that you have on every single pram?
It's not on every single pram.
It is on every single pram. It's a safety strap.
This is the first time I've seen one, which is on this pram I've got. But I thought it was because it was a running one.
You actually said it's for losers.
I did say it's for losers, yeah.
I use it every single time I'm pushing the pram.
Sorry, you are holding on to the handle. Why do you need a strap around your wrist?
Because, what if you're at a traffic light and it's on a hill?
What, you let go of your baby into the traffic?
Maybe, just hold on to the loser thing.
Just hold on to the handle, put the brake on.
That is
But I did think it was just for running, because obviously...
No normal person runs with their pram, Emma. Only you.
I have to, because otherwise I will go insane.
I would just get that, but that's what I don't run anyway.
No, I'm like, get in the pram, you're going to sleep, we're going for a run. And off we go.
Fine.
Yeah.
Fine. Okay, well, loser straps. I use them. You don't.
My babies are still alive.
And your babies are still alive. But going back to this canal walk, do you know that was actually the day that we decided, or I made you agree to do the podcast?
You didn't make me agree. We sort of did. It's a good thing. And we can't talk about the canal walk because that's the walk I usually do with Sarah. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Give it now, I take it over.
I love you, but Sarah is like.
Okay, fine. Did she ask you to say this?
Yeah, I feel like I should. Sarah, I love you. You're my number one.
Fine.
Actually, going back to that, we just asked about saying, you were like, oh my God, do you need to run this past Sarah first?
That's true.
It wasn't Aaron. Do you need to run this past Sarah?
Oh no, but our husbands, actually, on a serious note, I do feel like husbands normally just kind of go along with it. But if you have a best friend,
it's different.
It can be, you really have to make sure you're not offending anyone. And we are going to offend everyone.
A lot of people, probably even our husbands.
Yeah, but our husbands aren't.
Again, going back to having kids, it is so important to have close friends. I don't know where the hell I would have been without my friends. I don't think. Because your husband, yes, you choose them, but it's just different. Whereas your best friend is like...
My best friends, I've known since... Well, some of them are from secondary school.
Yeah.
And then others are from like, when I was maybe 16, like going out clubbing. What age was you when you first went out clubbing? Honestly.
No, I went out clubbing.
You never went out clubbing?
I'm joking, I was like 14.
So was I.
So bad. Do you know, my friend Sarah actually would go into Batchwood through the front door, have her ID, go to the fire exit, open the fire exit, and we'd run in there. And you go straight into the toilet, and the bouncer always used to come in and be like, have you just seen any people come in through the fire exit? We'd be like, no. And it was us.
Oh my god. Where was this?
Batchwood.
Yeah, I didn't really go there.
Alright, sorry.
Yeah, I was more like
Oshie's.
Oshie's on a Thursday night.
Yeah,
that was great. Did you ever have a Thursday night?
Yeah, when I moved schools and was actually of age, then I did. But I never loved it much. We were always in bed and area. You know, good call.
Yeah, I mean, I did work on the Dorm area.
I believe that.
Yes. And I would be like, they're not coming in, they're drunk. And then I remember it being like trainers weren't a thing.
They weren't, were they?
But then it would be like, I can not admit, when I met my husband, he loves his trainers. And he would just spend like, I don't know, £120 on a pair of trainers when he's like, 21? And I was like, how can you not let someone in because they bought, like, they're expensive trainers, they're not trash. But anyway, how on earth have we just got into clubbing, like a conversation?
We were talking about friends, right?
We were talking about friends, and we were talking about needing friends, right? We're going to do this a lot because I feel like I probably am undiagnosed something, and I switch between everything and can't actually finish a conversation. So apologies in advance. Here.
Yeah, but then that's life, isn't
but
it?
I know where I want to get back to in this conversation.
Oh yeah, sorry, I'm going to butt in. Shut up, Mama. Friends. We made friends with each other.
We made friends with each other on maternity leave, right? Because we went to a baby group.
A mum and baby group.
A mum baby group. I went on my own.
Wild.
Yes, wild. I went on my own.
And I just went.
I think you got probably dragged along. You didn't want to go. Or did you want to go?
I can't really remember. I do remember thinking, like, why am I here? It was nice, but it was quite small. It was nice.
It was actually a really nice one. There were lots of pastries. Alba loved the pastries.
Yeah, she did.
I only went to 2 baby groups in the early days, including that one.
Right.
Because I struggled a lot at the beginning. I was like, no one's going to want to be my friend because I'm really boring and I cry all the time and I'm super down and depressed. And I actually met my current hairdresser at the first one.
What?
And wait, it wasn't the first one because you came once it had finished to meet me for a walk.
Oh, you went to that massive one.
I went to that massive one.
Yeah. We went to those,
Yeah, I went to that massive one.
I remember walking in there and be like, wow, because a lot of fun was in here.
Again, I went all on my own.
Yeah.
And then I obviously knew I needed to get away after, and that's why I was like, do you want to come and meet me? And do you remember? I gave you my wrong number.
Oh my god, you did. What a bitch. I was like, what is going on here?
You were Instagramming me, and I am the sort of girl that doesn't have notifications on anything.
I have none.
Right? So I wasn't getting my
And there's
notifications.
me in town like, this bitch.
I don't think this is you because it's not your picture.
Yeah, I think I was I messaging you?
We obviously were just Instagram friends at the time.
Yeah.
And then you were like, well, I'll call you when I get there. What's your number? Gave you my number, but obviously didn't give you my real number.
Guess what? I still stuck around, even though you tried to ditch me. I forgot that, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
That's crazy. And then, literally, I knew I loved you from then.
It's meant to be, girl.
It was meant to be, honestly.
But that's why you stopped going to mum groups, because you met your friends, you didn't need to
Right, I met my friends because, actually, I've got another question for you.
Go on.
I didn't do NCT, right?
Right.
This might be a tricky question for you. You don't have to answer. Do you feel like you need NCT groups and mums?
Yeah, do you know what? When
I thought your answer was going to be better than that.
No.
Go on.
NCT, I would advise anyone to go. I really would. Not for the information they give you, because I mean they give you a bit, and it's, I suppose, a little bit educational. Although then you get to the hospital and you're like, this is not what she said it would be like. But my NCT group, we were really lucky with ours because we all get on really well, and the girls especially, obviously the partners went back to work. So in those early days when you've got this newborn, you have no idea what you're doing, you've got people to message to say, what do you do when your kid does this? Like, even in the middle of the night, you're awake, it's lonely.
Yes. So interestingly, I didn't go to NCT because I was like, and even John actually was like, we don't need to go. Like, we know we've been around babies. Like, thankfully, all our friends have kids, and our family, we are like the last.
Yeah.
I hate saying that, but we were later in life.
The most recent.
So we never went because I didn't know, and this is something I wish I did know, and this is why we're doing this sort of thing, guys, so that you are aware. If you're pregnant and mum to be, we're going to teach you that. I didn't realise it was for the friendship group. I genuinely thought it was just to teach you and learn about how to bring up a baby.
No,
or a kid.
There was actually none of that.
Which is really interesting because that's what I thought it was, so I didn't do it.
It was funny, to be fair. Do you know, our first NCT session, right?
Did you have to get on the floor and pretend that you're pushing out a baby and Aaron was behind you? You know that you see in films?
They're like actual birthing classes. I think you can go to them.
Oh.
God, no. The first session, we all sit there, everyone sits in their couples. And she does her whole oh hi, my name's so blah blah, welcome to NCT. So we're going to get around the room, and what I need you to do is what we're going to introduce ourselves. Now you can imagine me in this situation. I hate all of this. Like, let's do an icebreaker.
I mean, I'd be great at that. Just say it.
I want to break the ice. I want to sit here on my own and get to know people in my own time. Thanks. So she's like, so what you need to do is, I think it was say your name and your baby's due date and what hospital we have the baby at, and then I want you to say an interesting fact about your partner. And this is like my worst nightmare. I was like, oh god. So Aaron goes, brilliant, we'll go first. Oh, fuck.
Aaron, always stitching her up.
Yeah, so at this point my heart is like, oh my god, what am I going to say? What am I going to say? No, I can't think of anything. I can't even think of my own name right now. And Aaron stood there like, so my name's Aaron, and our baby's due on this day, and blah blah blah. And this is my wife Emma, and my interesting fact is, and he comes out with like that.
What was the interesting fact?
His interesting fact was something about me being a firefighter, and well, I don't know what it was, but yeah. I was like, my interesting fact about Aaron is, and I was like, and I thought, oh fuck, come out with something like, say something. You've married the man, for God's sake, that's my baby, it's not boring. I was like, if you ask him anything about uniforms and horses, he'll know the answer, and he is like the biggest Arsenal fan you've ever met. So that's like literally what I said.
Pretty fucking boring. I mean, I'm not being friends with them.
I felt really bad. I actually said to him as well on the way home, I was like, I'm really sorry, like, you are really interested. I don't know why I said that, but you know what? Arsenal fans, blah blah blah. And now they're mates. So actually, I did that. You can thank me later.
What would you say now?
My interesting facts about Aaron now. Actually, again, I'm at a loss. Don't put me on the spot like that. He's a very interesting man. He had a hair transplant. That's interesting.
I don't think he would want everyone knowing that, would he?
No, I don't think he cares. He's always talking about it. His interesting fact is he married me, and I am great.
Fair enough.
It's like, tell me a bit about you. Well, I've got 2 kids. That's
right.
I don't want to know that.
Wait.
That's boring.
Let's do it now. Let's do an icebreaker. Tell us a bit about you. Go on.
My name's Emma, and I've got 2 kids.
Right, well, I'll do it then.
Go on then.
Yeah. My name's Gabby. I've been with my husband for nearly 15 years. We lived abroad for 7 years. on a little tiny island called Malta, and I've got a little girl, Tala, who's 1 year old.
That's pretty good.
Pretty good.
My name's Emma. Do you know what's mental? It's like when you say interesting things about yourself, I'll be like, I don't know.
Again, though, I think that might be after having a kid, because I thought I was pretty fucking cool before I had Delilah, and I would walk into any room and I'd be like, yeah, cool, whatever, I don't even care. Now, well, not necessarily now, but maybe like 6 months ago, I would have really struggled. Well, I did really struggle going into rooms, and like, I didn't do it often, but when I went into a room with like people that I didn't know, I would click on, I was like, with you guys, excuse me, can I sit with you and feed my baby?
You weren't that bad though, I didn't think, when we first met. Like, you make it out that you were really like, oh, I'm really going to sit with us. But I didn't get that vibe. I knew that I felt for you. So I was like, this is a woman on her own.
Well, you remember, you were pregnant with your second. Yeah, you were pregnant with Ida, so you had done the whole first time mum thing, and I was like full on in the trenches of.
Do you know what though? As I do remember saying to me is, before I had a baby, I was a real career woman, and I sort of knew who I was, and then I had a baby, and like I lost all that. And I honestly remember thinking, I totally understand that. I mean, I was never a career woman, but
you definitely are a career woman.
I just think I'm one of those people who, you need work. And there are plenty of people out there who would be happy to be stay-at-home parents, which, look, I think, great, do that. Why you would do it, I don't know, because it's really hard. But, so after I had Albert, I was like, right, I'm on maternity leave, I want to get back to work now. And obviously I work for my mum as well, so I had that, which I was doing. But by 8 months, she was in nursery 1 day a week, and I was doing work with my mum.
Yeah.
At 8 months, that's Ida in 2 months' time.
That is mad. And I really actually do have mixed reviews about it, because when I used to work, there was a girl that had a baby, and she wanted to come back literally after like 2 months.
Yeah.
And I was a bit like, and I still am a bit like, that's too soon. I actually enjoy time with your kid, because you've brought this child into the world. Enjoy time, because you don't get that time back. One of the things that I'm most conscious about when going back to work, and if I do decide to go back to kind of what I was doing before, and I'd have to be away a lot and everything, is I'll miss out on certain things that will happen in Delilah's life. I read her nursery review today, and it's like, we can't wait for, she's pulling herself up, so we'd really encourage her to take those first steps. And I'm like, I need to make sure I'm there for that. I can't imagine having to be at full-time work. But maybe because I'm in a position where I don't have to.
Yeah.
I'm not forced into it. But 2 months or whatever, I was super young.
To be forced into it must be really hard. Because you literally have to go back, you have no choice. Imagine that. But actually making the choice to go back, I think it's something you want to do, then fine. And I know people say like, oh, you cherish these moments, but when you are in the thick of it, and you've got these little, I was about to say scumbags, a bit harsh. Rugrats, let's call them. Rugrats. Scumbags. It is. It's like there must be some sort of like abuse to your ears. When they're screaming, and you're like, "Why are you screaming? What is wrong?"
Yeah.
And then you feel yourself go, and I'm like, "No, don't shout, don't shout." And I'm like, "What is wrong? What do you want?"
Are you a gentle parenting sort of gal?
Yeah.
Are you? Do you know what though? I do remember when we used to go on our first few walks. I feel like it was dating, when we used to date at the beginning.
Yeah.
And I was like, are you ready for baby number 2? And you're like, oh, I'm just so laid back. If I was any more laid back, I think I'd fall over.
Which I used to actually be.
But
then I had kids. I'm not kidding. I suppose I do to a point, like.
I think you're quite good at being. You're really calm with the kids.
I think I'm calm to a point, and then I'm like, no, I've had enough now. But someone who said to me the other day, you've got a really good cross voice. I was like, oh, thank you. And you know what she said? It's a shame that she doesn't listen to you though. Because I am like, I get cross with Albert, and she honestly might as well look at me and just be like.
Thing is, Delilah's a little bit like this, but she's currently in the stage where everything is dada.
Yeah.
So she'll do something, and then she'll just be like, dada. And I'm like, that's really annoying actually, because. well, hopefully she comes out of it.
And then actually sometimes it's nice because you're like, yeah, go to your dad.
Yeah, that's true.
Which I did the other day. Oh. She pissed me off so much. He'd gone to work and she went to the window and she's at the window going, Daddy, work. And I just went, fuck off, behind her back so she couldn't see. Yeah. Yes.
What, because she was crying that her dad was at work?
No, she'd already done something else. I don't know what was wrong with her, but the reason she was crying, so I told her off for like, I don't know, sticking her head under the hot tap or something. You don't know what my kid's doing. And so I said, no, don't do that because you're going to scald your face. And she was like, no, Mummy. And then I got her down. She wasn't actually doing that, by the way. She was okay.
Yeah, just disclaimer, that was just dramatised.
Yeah, it was a kettle.
See, Delilah can't talk yet other than saying like dada, which whatever finds annoying, but I'm at the stage where I'm a little bit like, I just don't care. Like, so it was quite, it wasn't bad actually. Well, you can let me know if you think it's bad, and obviously you already judged me, so you will. But, so like last night, a friend was over from Malta and she could only meet at like 5 o'clock, and that's normally downtime. We were out and then we were like 45 minutes away, so I knew that she was going to fall asleep in the car on the way home, but I still wanted to give her, it was nursery day, they're rank when they come out from nursery, so she needed a bath. So got her home at about 7:15, so she had slept in the car, put her in the bath, gave her a milk, put her in bed, screamed, right? And I was like, this is really not like her. So I was rubbing her back, you know, trying to settle her, and then I swapped with John because I was like, this is really boring now, we can swap. Anyway, after an hour, I brought her down.
An hour? That's good going.
I brought her down, right? Well, it was an hour, 10 minutes of John, 10 minutes of me.
Oh, yeah.
About 10 minutes. Brought her down. She cannot sit still with me, right? So I'll put her on the sofa with me and she'll just start climbing. So I was like, right, babe, you can have her. So John was watching car YouTube, so that's what he does, right? And she sat so calmly on his lap
bless her.
for about 10 minutes watching this car YouTube. Right. Then she started waving, and I was like, okay, she's ready for bed. Because in the morning, she comes out for breakfast. Once we finished breakfast, had a little bit of playtime, she waves and she goes up for nap.
Love it.
So she started waving, so I was like, okay, we're going to bed now. Night night daddy, give daddy a kiss, gives daddy a kiss. Night night Frank, gives the dog a little wave and a pat. Goes upstairs, put her in her cot, she went to sleep. So she knew, so that was really great, but I think it was because everyone always says, don't get into the routine of them knowing they're going to come downstairs. If they're sick, don't put them in your bed. Do you know what? Whatever works.
That's exactly it.
Sorry.
Do what works for you.
Absolutely. There's so much of this, like, don't let them in your bed. Yeah. I know you co-sleep a lot, don't you?
Do you know what's so funny?
Not judging.
When we had Alba, I was like, this kid is not sleeping in my bed because I've never been that good at sleeping, and I just didn't want anything else to get in the way of it. So I was like, no way, she's not getting in bed. And she was really good at going down on her own, all her naps, she went down fine. As soon as we moved her out of our bedroom into her new bedroom, like no problem. Yeah. I was never had a problem with going to sleep. It's just the sleeping past 5 a.m. she struggles with. Yeah. This time, I think because we've got Alba and I really don't want Isla to wake her, when she wakes in the night, she lays in the bed next to me, give her a bottle, and then goes to sleep, because we just sleep in the bed. Yeah.
When are you planning on putting her in her own room?
Well, actually, the last couple of nights, she's done quite well. I'm not slept in the bed. Oh. Have you seen people who co-sleep and they wear like all-in-one sleeping bag things? Have you seen them? For the adult?
No.
So, because they don't want to have a duvet that suffocates their kid. I'm desperate for her in her room because she's so fucking noisy at night. So I think we're just going to do it, and then...
Yeah, how old is she now? 6 months?
6 months.
So we put Delilah in her own room when we moved back into the house. She was 5.5 months.
Yeah, we were like that.
And I put her in it. The night we moved into this house, I put her in her own bed, in her own room. It was the first time she was in a cot. She was in a Moses basket because we were staying at my mum's.
Because we're going to my mum's for a bit. I think they're going to share a room.
But hopefully she'll be old enough where she's sleeping through as well. She's not going to need.
That's what I mean. I was like for 6 weeks. I was like frigging partying. Right, I can't be after that.
Yeah, that's what petrifies me about maybe having number 2, because we've had it so good. I remember that I get through from about 12 weeks, I think, 12, 16 weeks, and she kept waking up like 4 o'clock in the morning. I'd give her a bottle, and I'll never forget. Went to my nan's house, and she was like, "Stop giving her that bottle and shove that dummy in her mouth."
Right, but I've tried that with Ida, it doesn't work.
I was a hungry baby. Come on, have a look at her. She's a hungry baby. I think Albert's still in the same size clothes as what Delilah would be in now.
Yeah,
she's
actually,
the
other day I didn't have a vest for Ida, so I put it on my Barbara's and it fit great. Like a glove.
Just for clarity, Isla is the younger baby, and Albert is 2-year-old.
Oh, nuts. But yeah, I don't know about having 2. This is the other thing people say. To have them together, have your next baby, have them really close together, it's really good. 2 under 2, la la la, best thing you can ever do. It's just the worst advice I've ever given in my life. It was awful. Just why? That's really mean to say to someone have 2 under 2. It was awful.
I also, while we're on the conversation, I think it's really bad to just assume people are going to have more than one.
So do I.
There
is nothing wrong with one baby.
Yeah, I think a lot. It's like, so when are you going to have the next one? Or when you have baby number 2, and it's a bit like, well,
also,
what if we don't have baby? Yeah, what if we don't have baby number 2 and we just have baby number 1? Then that's it.
She's spoiled.
Well, and if she is, you know what?
Lucky her.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I do. I think there's a lot to be said for animals.
But I think the world's changing.
Yeah,
because also I think it's so much more acceptable to not have children anymore as well.
But this is the thing. So I have a conversation with my mum all the time. I've got a brother and 2 sisters. My brother's already got 2 kids. My sisters, neither one of them want children. And to me, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Fine.
Yeah.
And my mum's like, "Oh, but you're missing out. And having the kids is the best thing you can ever do." Now, there are a lot of things that I think that are better than having kids, I'll be honest. Like,
that's maybe because they're so young, because when you are your mum's age and your kids are your age...
She thinks it's the best thing she's ever done because I'm one of them. So I get that, right?
I feel sorry for you.
She's so lucky. Me times 4. I'm the best one of the 4, though.
Are you the youngest?
No, I'm the 3rd.
Oh, right, okay.
3rd, and the best one.
I always kind of think back to our parents were once our age with kids our age, and now going back to last week's episode when I said about going away and going to adults only hotels, I'm absolutely doing that again. When Delilah's 20, I am going to amazing hotels again and amazing holidays and adults only, and I'm not going to feel bad about it.
It is mental though, isn't it? Because you're like, oh, you could get really like negative about parenting, like it's really hard and it's tiring and it's this and it's that. But then on the flip side, like I wouldn't even describe it as love. I don't know how you describe it.
You get really smushy, don't you?
Oh, but I just, you know, when you're like, what is that feeling? Oh my god, you're like the most glorious human being ever.
Yeah, I do.
Do you know what I mean?
I do actually look at Delilah sometimes and just think,
I could cry.
wow, like how are you so amazing? And I know I'm biased because obviously she's mine, but I literally look at her and I think, even when we go to like certain groups where I see her at nursery and stuff, she babbles so much and she's
so advanced.
She's not, but it's like you look at them and think, wow, you are just so amazing.
And you are mine.
And you are mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is incredible.
I think we could literally annoyingly talk for ages about how amazing our kids are. So, let's do the question of the week.
Which is?
The question of the week is going to be, what is the nicest thing someone's ever done for you when you had a baby? It's got to be, we were living at my mum's when we had Delilah, right? And Mum literally just knew when to come down and help. Aww. So in the middle of the night, maybe 3 in the morning if Delilah was crying, she knew when the point was right to come down
Yeah.
and help. And let me just give you a second. Let me take her and see if I can settle her or help.
Yeah.
And then there was one time, I think, or a few weekends, where she would literally wake up and it would be 6 o'clock in the morning and she would come down and she'd go, Gab, can I take Delilah up? Like, do you want me to take her so you guys get some sleep? And that was one of the nicest things. I know it's my mum, so obviously she's going to do it.
That is like,
but she honestly would just come down and be like, you have 2 hours, not broken sleep, because again, I was neurotic where I would go, make sure she's breathing every 5 seconds.
Did you do the whole feeding every 2 hours and waking her up to feed her?
No, I didn't wake her up to feed her.
Because I think that's nuts. You know, they say to you,
didn't wake her up to feed her.
Make sure you're waking the baby to feed her every 2 hours. And I just
didn't do that.
Surely if the baby's hungry, then she should wake up. That's a very nice thing.
Your turn.
Food. Just people bringing me food. Because I hate cooking anyway. Cooking is rubbish. God, I can't stand it. And I have to cook every night. But no, once I'd had the baby and people came around and like filled the fridge and the freezer or whatever it was with food, I just didn't have to think about cooking. I loved that.
Oh, I do like that. It's, you forget to eat, right? Or you haven't got time to go to the shop. I mean, I probably didn't forget to eat.
I didn't. I just ate a
But you don't have time to go to the shop and maybe get something sweet and... Right. Is that it for the day?
Yeah.
We're clocking off.
Night time.
Cheers. Night, guys. See you soon.